of 2022. Abhishek, Isam, Lisa, Anirudh, Abhilash, Sabir, Asad, Manish, Amer, Alvin, Neha, Pradeep, Amit, Rashmi, Amana, Uzair, Rash, Ghulam, Muhammad, Aarti, Pawan, Tarek, Iqtidar, Numan, Mandar, Mosam, Nij, Wasi, Raj, Usman, Afzal, Mateen, Chitra, Naveen, Salah, Deepak, Carolyn, Linwin, Bilal, Salman, Sayyid, Alam, Nabi, Rujan, Shahzeb, Lata, Chandram, Hassan, Usman, Faisal, Talal, Mr. Ruka, Mani, Basil, Wasi, Salah, Idrar, Amar, Faisal, Azad, Mohit, Amoor, Tehsin, Abdul, Prashant, Ajay, Griffiths, Ajay, Ali, Bisharat, Numan, Mafi, Mansoor, Prashant, Ajit, Batu, Greg, Prem, Vivek, Abrar, Ali, Khilaflano, Shah, Mohammed, Rahan. Now we have 450 certified EMP, Mr. Ram. It is always honor to host senior persons, especially those persons who have done something in their life. And having Dr. Tony is an honor for me. Let me introduce him to the audience. Now, he's a seasoned business executive and a leader of PMO, Information System Technology and Project Management combines a doctorate in organizational leadership with a major in information system and technology. And we know that this era belongs to the IT. He's a certified project management professional. He's authorized business partner instructor, certified baseline PMO consultant certification, and IT ILF certification with extensive experience in managing and overseeing large portfolio, program, and project, and IT infrastructure with business vision to drive profitability, efficiency, and growth within the organization. He has demonstrated track record of delivering multiple technical projects on time and budget, and that is what all about here. First of all, thank you, Dr. Tony, for giving your time. I know how precious your time is and working to understand the next generation PM. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Amer, and thank you for having me here. And you very popular channel, so you are
Thank
impacting a
you.
lot of people with what you do. So I appreciate it, everything that you're doing for the professions of project management.
Thank you, sir. So straightforward. The question number one, we have a lot of questions from the audience, and we will be having this 30 minutes talk. I want to use it as effectively as we can.
Okay.
What do you believe are the key trends and advancement shaping the future of project management office?
Yeah, so the same thing that PMI have been doing it recently, basically from the last year. So they focusing in a new way of delivering project for organization. They telling us about that we need to change the way of working and that we need to add value and also we need to engage people in what we do. So the same thing for the next generation PMO is the PMO that will be a profit center. It will be a value added generator. So everything that we do in a PMO is to add to the bottom line of this organization so they can be better, so they can grow and they can serve better their customers or their citizens. So whatever the organization does, so they're gonna be on the top of their game.
Hmm. That is a very interesting concept to think about. As you mentioned, as PMI has moved towards one size fit approach to more of a tailoring thing and ways of working, how we can do that, how the entire domains can be moved from more toward value base as compared to output. Now we are focusing outcome and making sure that outcomes deliver value at the end of the day. Like the project manager just not and at that, okay, we don't care the customer satisfied or the project really delivered the value or not. So a very important question, and one should also put the same question there. With the new AI coming with us, what do you think how this AI can help us building PMO better, stronger, and more effective?
Yeah, so the new generation PMO should realize on the most advancement in technology so we can deliver faster and we can also be more efficient in whatever we do for the organization. So artificial intelligence is something that we need to embrace in the new PMO. So we can deliver faster, so we can be smarter, and we can invest more time in figure out what is the best thing for the organization to do. I see that artificial intelligence is here to stay for project management and also for the organization that manage the project management and oversee everything that we do in the organization. So artificial intelligence is a great tool that everybody need to start embracing. If you haven't started doing it, that's something that is here to stay.
And do you think more and more projects will be driven on the basis of that, and we can have temporary PMOs like we have for in the organization? You have entire governance, the entire portfolios PMO. We will also have more PMO related, only focused towards AI in the future.
Yeah, definitely. The same. So we have been working with Agile. So imagine that you have an organization that is based on the traditional approaches like waterfall, like iterative. So if you don't move to the next step like in Agile, so it's like you're gonna get behind. So the organization is moving forward, but the PMO, the traditional PMO, stay behind just controlling things, just creating templates, or sometimes those templates, those forms doesn't add any value. So there is a disconnect. Agile and then the traditional PMO behind. So we need to dance the same rhythm. We need to dance the same music that the Agile organizations are doing. So in that reason, the same agile, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all other advancement in technology, we need to embrace those so we can move forward with the organization as the society is asking for that. So we need to
Mhm.
be faster and we need to have more quality in what we do. So artificial intelligence will help in that to be faster and add more quality to everything we do.
We need to be faster and we need to add more quality. And what you said, like Suleiman mentioned something related to that, like we don't need what PMI says a sportive PMO only providing tools and template, but we also need some kind of direction. So PMOs will be more dominant in the future, and they will be working more towards how things are delivering value. And I'm a really fan of that. PMOs should be more of a controlling, if we say in the PMI language, like they should provide tools and template. That is the basic purpose of that, and that is one of the most important thing that can be added. But in addition to that, now with the rapid technology, the PMO need to deliver the value. What is the name of the today? Mr.
Yeah.
Dale Harvey is saying you will hear that AI is very important to future PMOs, and even Chat GPT will enable better collaboration and document generation. What are your thoughts about document generation? Because as we are moving more towards green, uh, paperless environments and more collaboration, do you think the PMOs work regarding lesson learns and those documentation will be that think about past, or we will have more things like that in the future?
Yeah, a lot of practitioners in project management, they see basically those people that they like the traditional method. They think that agile, they don't like to do documentation. They don't plan like we plan in a waterfall approach. So I think that everything that you do in agile and also from the PMO standpoint, it's not about generating a lot of documentation. It's about that you need to do what you need to do, the minimum that you can invest in documenting, but you need to focus on deliver the products or services. That's the real purpose of having an organization like a PMO. If you want to generate value, so you need to be agile. So you need to have the agile mindset. So you deliver the products and services faster than anyone else. So you can be the competitors. So that's the reason behind the next generation PMO. So the next generation PMO also is leadership. So we're talking about servant leadership. I talk a lot about effective leadership. The effective leadership is the one that have the vision to embrace everything in the surrounding, in the environment, to use it for the benefit or progress the organization forward. So when we talk about next generation PMO, we talk about leadership, embracing the technology and do the best thing for the organization so you can add value not only for the organization but also for the country or the city or the entire community.
Yeah, that's a very interesting concept, and I want to put something more on effective leadership. As you diverted from servant leader to effective leadership, and can we say that effective leadership is the name of the game? We don't have to follow one rule as the agile. Yes, we have to be servant leadership, but maybe situational leadership or effective leadership is something which PMO and project managers in the coming future they need to play instead of just me less is fire or a servant leader. That cannot be worked. It can work theoretically, but practically we need to be the PMOs and the project manager needs to be more effective, right?
Exactly. So and we can pick on what PMI is saying and what PMI is doing. So the talent triangle. So one of the aspects, the power skills. The power skills are necessary for you to lead the new organization. So
Hmm.
we can satisfy the requirements and the needs and wants of the next generation, or the new generation of
Hmm.
citizen. So everything is combined. So also in the next generation PMO, you need to understand the business. So the business acumen, that if you don't understand the business, so how can you help the business? So that's the new PMO leader. The PMO director should be sitting in the same seat that the C-suite sit, so they can share the same vision and the same ambition of the company, so they can work together to achieve those strategic goals of the organization.
That's a very great point. And coming back to the previous point when we were talking about agile, from an agile practitioner, she has asked how can PMOs better integrate with agile methodologies and approaches in the future. So, by if I put it by leveraging the technology, by utilizing the technology in a best possible way, that can help us in a more positive way, right?
Right. Definitely. So you need to embrace. So one of the reasons that we also talk about the agile PMO. So we need to embrace the same methodologies, the same tools that the agile we use. So let's say that the PMO focus just on scheduling, on plans, a lot of paperwork, and you don't focus on the tool that support the collaboration among people, so we can get the best or the talents that you have working for your organization. So you are not adding value. So you need to take that route, use all the agile tools that are there, use the boards, so collaborate. So embrace those practices. That's the kind of organization that companies and organization as a whole are needing uh, now and in the future.
Now and the future. One of the very important thing that I wanted to discuss specially, and I put this question for then, but I wanted to ask it right now. How can PMOs collaborate with other department and stakeholders to drive value? We started this conversation by asking about the value, and if we talk about today, we are living in a age where we wake up the next day and the things are changed, like with the chat GPT, and now the Google tried the bar. It did not work as planned, but the things are changing in a very rapid pace. So with the PMO, with the vision of driving the portfolio, driving the bottom line, and we know that it all comes down to the bottom line, that how does the stakeholders are happy. So how would you add on this thing?
Yeah. So when you work for an organization, that silos that it created in a traditional organization, when they are functional or if they are matrix type organization, they have silos. So we need to move to the projectized world. So everybody understand the language of projects. Everybody works toward the same goals. So I like to put when I'm facilitating the PMO workshops, so I have an analogy. So a PMO is the control tower in a BC airport, and all projects are the aircrafts. So imagine that the responsibility that the PMO has to control all the aircrafts, all planes there. So they, in the case of the control tower, they say life. In the case of a PMO for organization, you save the organization because all projects are businesses. All projects are money that the organization investment that the company is doing. So you saving the organization, you saving those investments, so in order to maximize the potential, so they have more return on investment, so they are more profitable. So that's the PMO of the future. That's the next generation PMO. So you need to have the business acumen. You need to work with all the departments, so you work as a single team for the organization. So that's the very important, the collaboration and also the understanding of what organization play, what role they play in that organization, so they can work together as a single team to deliver value for this company or this organization.
Quite impressive answer, and it cannot be more detailed into that. Now,
Yeah.
a very important thing, what Peter Drucker used to say is that strategy is important. Strategy is very important, but culture eat strategy daily on the breakfast, something like that. If I'm not, so what do you say about the culture? Because now, as we are moving, since I am in Dubai, Dubai is kind of the head of all the cultures. We have more than 190 nationality living here in a very beautiful harmony which has not been seen anywhere else in the world. How PMOs can help, because we know that as we move forward, diversity is the beauty. And if we don't leverage in the organization this diversity and this culture, we can be left behind. So, how basically PMO can learn from maybe the countries which have done it, or the organizations which have done it to improve it, because very few organizations are there who are able to do that. Even if we take the example of the where from the lean came the Toyota production system, when the Toyota came from Japanese to
Mhm.
American cultures, they faced a big difference, and they were a big hurdle, because in the Japanese culture, the continuous improvement is kind of embodiment, so there is no problem into that, but which was not present in other cultures. So
Yeah.
how the PMO can help in that particular way?
Yeah, the PMO leaders, they are the one running this kind of organization for company. So we talk about effective leadership. So we have a lot of tools that we need to embrace to connect. Some people say about relationship, but I don't like the word relationship. I like the word connection. So you need to connect with people. So everybody human being. So you speak a different language, and then you have different way of looking at things. But at the end of the day, everybody's a human being. So what the PMO leaders they need to do, they need to embrace a concept like emotional intelligence. Everybody has emotion. So how you use the emotional intelligence to connect with those people so they have the same mindset that you in helping the organization to move forward. So that's when I say effective leadership is that kind of leadership that we need to have, that embrace the culture, that embrace the diversity, because nobody is by himself right now. We have a company with different, as you say, different nationality, different religion, different way of looking at things, but the leadership is the one that need to embrace and use that advantage that you have a stronger group of people to deliver. So that we need to capitalize in that and having different culture, different type of people, but you need to use emotional intelligence. You need to be effective leadership. You need to be a people leader, so you can embrace that kind of culture, so for the well-being of the companies and for the well-being of the people also. So that's what I said. Emotional intelligence plays a lot of a good role. Neuroscience. There's a lot of stuff out there that we can use to be better leaders.
to be at a leader. So if I say that the number one skills that the future project managers they need to focus on, as PMI says in power skills, is
Mm.
emotional intelligence, understanding. As we like, I like what Gary is. He's kind of a marketer. He says that as we move towards more jet skins, like we go more towards advancement, we need to be like Flintstones. We need to be more like what older generations were. We understanding the emotions of others, how
Exactly.
others are working, knowing that okay, this is the step, the feelings of other person, knowing the different cultures, what are the body languages, what are the languages we can use, and utilizing those practices in the best and most effective way. I had another question related to that same particular thing about cultures, how PMO can make sure. Now I will go back to again the lean, which is considered like agile actually came from lean, the culture of continuous improvement. That is something, if like, if a PMO can build a continuous improvement, the PMO is a winner, because then
Exactly.
they can step aside and look the culture plays its role. Yeah.
Right. So that's important concept. So you have the cultural innovation and continuous improvement. It's like society is moving faster. Every day is not the same day. Today is different than yesterday. So that culture of innovation, continuous improvement is something that the PMO leaders they need to foster in the organization. So one thing that I want to mention also is change management. So change management is a huge thing. So we usually in the past we didn't prepare the organization for changes because changes are happening too fast. So we need to embrace in all the practices that we do change management. Everything is a change, but you need to manage the changes, organizational change so people can assimilate those changes faster. So there's a lot of things to do, and you need to create an organization that when I talk on my workshop, I always say you need to think ahead. So it's not just that you are inside the organization and you don't know what happening around, what happened in the environment, what happened in your industry. So you need to go out and see as a holistic view what happening in the entire world and how can you leverage on those things that are happening and bring it to your organization so you can move the organization forward and you add value constantly. So innovation is a big thing in everything that we do because things change every day. We
Yeah,
have a new
things
version of this product. We have a new iPhone. We have a new Android. So
Chat GPT is like the
artificial
biggest
intelligence
example nowadays. It's a
exactly
talk of the town. And when we talk about the change, if I am not wrong, PMO is the change agent of the organization. That is the part and parcel of the PMO. Identify what projects can add value to the portfolio. If I talk about the portfolio level PMO, identify which basically add value to organizational strategy and then work into that. And as we are talking about the change, the question that keep coming is that, like, now I would say that we are in the post pandemic world. Like, things were there, and since I'm a PMP trainer, you are also providing training, and we have noticed one thing. Now organizations and more individuals, they prefer to have online training as compared to on site, like that culture. Okay, let's go to the hotel and have that. That is changing, that is changing. And the behavior, like, we have seen after pandemic that there was a mass resignation, and after the mass resignation now there's a mass layoff, both things coming there. And things are changing very rapidly in post pandemic world, and it will keep on changing, because I'm sure chat GPT is just the first thing. And with the technology companies, we yet have to see that the new iPhone that they will be bringing after chat GPT, and with the technology, they have to bring something new.
right.
Otherwise, like, Apple cannot do the same thing what Kodak or Nokia did. They were one time the giant as Apple is today. If they don't do that, they will be obsolete in few years. So what do you think? Maybe the we can give directly advice to the Apple PMOs that how they can play a great role in the post pandemic looking at the business worlds.
Yeah, so I had experience during the pandemic. So I work for a global company. So we never stop, and 2020 was one of the best years. So I was responsible for all the delivery of this organization for Latin America and the Caribbean. So that year was the best year. So the reason for that it was because we were prepared to work in this new setting. So I see the virtuality that we work from and soon, every day, people are feeling more comfortable. At the beginning, people they didn't feel comfortable, but now it's like we have a big office with people from everywhere collaborating together for something to achieve a goal. So now we feel comfortable. So we have created that mindset that we are in an office, but the office, bigger office. So it's like now. So I'm talking to you. You are in Dubai. I'm here in Orlando, Florida. So, and a lot of other people are from different countries. So we are collaborating. And for me, it's like I'm sitting in front of you talking. So that things have been very important in all the changes that are happening around the world. Also for the organization, they have been saving because my company, they used to have a lot of offices around the world, so they closed those facilities so we can do better and we can be more productive. And so quality is not impacted. We are more productive. People are collaborating. So that's also a role that the PMO or the future need to do to embrace more collaboration, adopting better tools. And we're gonna see these big companies like Google and Yahoo, all those organizations, they're gonna put more money in adopting AI or machine learning to have a better collaboration tools. So that's a good things that we're gonna be experiencing in the near future.
Another question, we were talking about mass layoff and as well as mass resignation.
Mhm.
So, no, that is this one. So, basically, how we can attract, retain, and develop top talent. Now, you see, this after COVID, now with all the opportunities, there's a mass layoff because of recession or whatever the reason, but we need to retain talent. PMO needs good project managers. We need good team. No matter how good your strategy is, if you don't have good team members, we cannot do that. And we know that money is not the one factor that okay, if you fire someone the next day you can hire them with the money. No, no, no. With the Gen Z coming and they don't care that much about money. Maybe the previous generation did, but now the things are changing in a very different way. And even with the COVID have realized people, and with what is going on along the world with Ukraine, all those things, that okay, that is temporary. We need to have a life. So the best talent is rare. So how we can attract, retain, and develop top talent? How the PMO can help into it?
Yeah, that's one of the key function of a PMO is about managing resources. But resources is not about just allocating resources to projects. Managing resources and leading resources means that you need to develop the resources in your organization, but how you gonna retain them? So you also need to have a good succession plan so people move, so people have the option. But how you gonna create an engaging environment so people they don't wanna leave, that they feel well there? So that's about leadership. How you connect with those people, how you develop them so they can be a high performing team. So high performance team comes like in agile. So you have that kind of collaboration, that kind of connection that the people they don't want to leave your organization if you treat them well with dignity and respect, and you value them for what they do. So that's something that you need to do to retain, because that's a big problem in today's organizations. So people they leave too often. So we have a high turnover. So how you stop that? It's like you need to be better leaders. So why people they want to leave is sometimes because we don't care about them. So we need to show that we care about them, so they're gonna stay. So that there's a saying that the heart and brains they are when they are appreciated. If I feel appreciated for you, I want to stay with you. I don't want to leave. So that's an important thing. So to retain people, appreciate them, love them, and make that they love you.
We are getting a lot of more questions, but we are running out of time.
Yes.
So, last question: what do you see as the biggest opportunities for PMOs in the future, and how can they capitalize on them? What do you say, Mr.?
Yeah, so one of the things that we need to do, the people that are in this arena or PMO, is do a better job in facilitating the message to the senior leaders in organization that they appreciate and they understand what a PMO is. So a lot of organizations they don't have a PMO because they don't understand what the value. I have project managers; they know what they need to do to deliver projects. But why I gonna invest in an organization that they consider is a headcount? So they don't want a headcount. So a lot of organizations they are cutting costs. So you saw that Google they lay off a lot of people. So a lot of organizations they want to be more efficient, cutting costs because they can get it's tough to have more revenue, more organic growth in the organizations. So for that reason, it's like we need to focus on how can we develop, how can we be more efficient, and they see you as a profit center, not a cost center. That's the big reason that a lot of companies they don't see the PMO adding value. So that's gonna open the door for a lot of talents that are out there looking for opportunity in PMO. So when we are moving in that direction, sending the right message to the leaders of the different organizations so they can see PMO as a profit center and not a cost center.
PMO as a profit center and not a cost center. PMO, as we have discussed many things in last 30 minutes, and the audience has been pretty busy putting all the questions there at different platforms. I'm posting it on YouTube. Change management is the name of the game, and as a PMO, we need to understand what are the trends going on, and we need to deliver profit as well as value to the organization. Dr. Tony, it has been a pleasure to host you, and for last 30 minutes I learned more about PMO than I ever done. I look forward to host you some other time in the future. It was honor. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future. And one more time, thank you very much.
I appreciate it, Amer. Thank you for having me. Best of luck in everything that you do. So you are very successful in the project management. So let's continue impacting the world.
Thank you very much. Ibrahim is the first PMP of 2022. Abhishek, Isam, Lisa, Anirudh, Abhilash, Sabir, Asad, Manish, Amer, Alvin, Neha, Raju, Pradeep, Amit, Rashmi, Amana, Uzair, Rash, Gulam, Muhammad, Aarti, Pawan, Tarek, Iqtidar, Numan, Mandar, Mosam, Nij, Wasi, Raj, Usman, Afzal, Mateen, Chitra, Naveen, Salah, Deepak, Carolyn, Linwin, Bilal, Salman, Sayyid, Alam, Nabi, Rujan, Shahzeb,